Hi everyone, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video I'll be showing you guys how to basically turn any organic sound effect, any sound effect really, into a whoosh. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to show basically one way where you don't need any kind of additional plugins or anything, and then one way or two other ways where I'll be using some paid plugins if you want to kind of be a bit more creative. So let's just jump right in here. So my first example, I'll be using this here. And this is the sound I'm going to be playing with, right? And this is just a box, cardboard box that I had in my house. I just filled it up with a whole bunch of different kind of things like metal pieces, nails, little bolts, other wood, paper, stuff like that, a whole bunch of plastic and whatever else. And then I was just shaking it around and dropping it, and this is what I recorded. So with that now, what we're going to do is create a whoosh. So I already have one completed here, which I'll show you guys after, but let's start from scratch. So what I would do is start with just putting some fades at the start and the end of where you want your whoosh to be. So we'll start with that here. And what I like to do in terms of fades is I like to use this kind of phase, which is kind of an exponential phase, I guess, an exponential fade. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other end here. This one here. Apply. Let's change this one a bit. Apply that. All right, and let's see what we have to start. Just switch it up a bit. Okay. So what you'll notice for this one is it's not working too well, and the reason for that is because this sound was pretty short to begin with, and that's kind of the downfall of working with, or one of the limitations when you're creating whooshes is it doesn't really work with short files or really transient files. You really need to have something that's a bit more ambient or that lasts a bit longer. So this could be a whoosh. Obviously, it's a really bad one, so let's work on a second one, but we'll be using the same concept. So this is me dragging a bench that we have in our kids' bathroom, so just recorded that, and we're going to use the exact same technique. Now, this should work a lot better because now we have a really long file. So let's work on this. All right, so I'll be doing the same technique here, putting fades at either end. These exponential fades here, like this. And let's see what we have. Right, so already it's pretty good. Like you already can hear and feel the shape of the whoosh. So that's good. Okay, and now what I would do is this is kind of a, I would probably say it's a low. Let's see here. Let's find an EQ. It's probably more, it's really strong in the low mids, this one. So yeah, you can see around here between 2 and 400. And it's lacking a lot of the highs in the sound. So what I would do is I would layer this with another sound that would be more focused on the highs, higher frequency. Okay. That's the first thing. And now if you want to keep on going with this idea, then what you can do is you can do the same thing with a few other things. So what I did here is I added an EQ, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to automate the band here so that it kind of follows the volume envelope here. So as the volume rises and falls, the envelope is going to go up and then back down. So let's listen to that. Oh, maybe I have it off. Let's try that again. Yeah, so I don't even have it on, so let's create that right now from scratch. Alrighty, so we'll do something like this. Let's see what this sounds like. So there you go. A little intense for my liking. I was hoping it'd be a bit higher, so let's move that up. Like that. So even that, like, I could make use of that, and I could probably figure out something like that, but I don't like how it's too frequency and sweepy for to my liking. Let's try it again. Maybe try it a bit higher. anyways, the point is you can play around with this and make it however you like. Like it doesn't have to be that much. Like if I wanted to, I could come here and put the mix way down, like maybe 34%. Right. So anyways, I can play with that, but that's one thing you can do. The next thing you can do is play with this. And this is just Trash 2 by Isotope, and it's just a distortion plugin. And what you can do with this is the same idea. So I pick like a distortion preset here, and then I'll play with the dry to wet envelope, and so that it gets more distorted as again following the envelope here. So if I have it right, I think it's this one here. So let's see what this might be like. Nope. Maybe this one. There you go. Let's see if it's this one. Yeah. Again, now it's a pretty distorted signal. A bit too much to my liking, but you know, you can play around with that to whatever you need it to be at. All right. But anyways, this is the idea of things you can do. And then, of course, you can add other effects like an octaver here. Add more bass. Anyways, and you keep going this way if you want to just focus and work on one sound effect like this. What I like to do, though, is add other sound effects. So what I have here is I might layer it with something like this, which is a lot more noisy. And this is just rain that I recorded at my house. All right, nothing too crazy. But what I did with it is I did the same technique here, but this time I used volume automation here. So. And now if I layer it with this other one that I created here, this is a separate one, but the same sound. So I lay it together. Right, you got a much fuller sound. Anyways, this is the first way that I would create whooshes, and yeah, layering them together, adding effects and stuff like that. So first way. So the second way that I do it is with a plugin here. Let me just open this up. Okay, so this is the sample chap, and what I put in here is that cardboard box again. The same sample that I showed before, except I put it on loop and loop until release. So until I let go of the key, it's going to keep on looping and looping. And what's cool about this is that now I can play across the keyboard, and it's going to keep on playing. It's cool. They're all intermittent, and you never know when it's going to come in and out. So I like that. And you still get that organic sound. And now what I'm going to do is, because it's not really a whoosh, is I'm going to put in a Doppler plugin. So this is Traveler by Tunstorm, and it's a Doppler plugin. And what I'm going to do is press play here, and now I can just play on my keyboard. And it's just playing a pass by of all the sounds that I'm playing on my keyboard. And because they're always playing intermittently, you'll always get a different pass by sound, which is nice. I could just press play, record a whole bunch, and then pick and cut and choose whichever one I like, and go from there with the same kind of examples that I showed before. Start layering them and whatever else. So this is the second way I would do it with a Doppler plugin. This is, like I said, Traveler by Tunstorm. There are also free ones. I'll probably link in the description, like other free Doppler plugins, but I really like this one. All right, so next, what I'm going to do is something with whoosh, which shouldn't be any surprise. As the name suggests, this is also Whoosh by Tunstorm, and like I said, as the name suggests, it's exactly what it does. It does whooshes. It creates whooshes really well. So for this one, what I did is I created, let's just solo this, again, the same cardboard box here, and we're just going to play it. Yeah. Okay. So what I did here, there's two ways that I like to use this. One is by soloing a certain layer. And when you do that, you kind of get something like this where it kind of is granular. So you get this granular sound playing. And if I want to change the pitch, I can bring it up a little. And then I would do the same thing as I did before. Stick on Traveler, put Traveler on here. And then get some whooshes like that. Of course, I'd probably add effects because this is pretty. Reduce the stereo a bit. But you get the same idea. And again, like you never get the exact same sound coming through, so I could record a whole bunch again, chop them up, and pick what I need and what I like. The other way that you can use this is without any plugins, and I wouldn't solo this, and you just play it. Right? And it basically does exactly what it says it's going to do. It's going to be a whoosh. So in here, you can import your own sounds, which is what I did. So I had my own user bank here, and then I imported my own sound. And yeah, I just put it through the engine, and it just comes out as a whoosh. So this is the third way that you can create whooshes. And yeah, I think that's everything. Like this is usually how I create whooshes. First way, again, manually, just by playing with the volume envelope. You can also play with the pitch envelope. I didn't show in this video, but it's something you can do. And then using a Doppler plugin, something like Traveler, and then using Whoosh by Tomstorm, which creates exactly whooshes as you would expect. So with that, you can create pretty much any whoosh with any sound effect that you have. Again, the limitation being as long as it's not like a transient, heavy sound effect or something really short and clippy, you'd be able to use. So anything that's, like I said here, like I have an ambient sound, I used like me dragging benches. You can use anything that's a bit longer, you can use as a whoosh. For that. And I should also say, like, whenever you're using something like in a granular way, so like when I solo it here and it just plays granularly, then it doesn't matter if it's really transient heavy or not. You could still stick something in. So even if it is transient heavy, like this cardboard box was, whenever I stick it in a granular engine like this, it still works out and still it still gives you that organic sound, I guess, of the original recording. So that's how I create my whooshes. So hopefully, if you guys found that useful, maybe you learned something, you can apply it into your own workflow. If you guys liked it, let me know. If you have questions, leave it in the comments below. And if not, I think that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.